A late-night text shatters Jake Turner's world. Your wife's cheating. Check her phone. She's with him now. As rain pounds their Seattle home, Jake, a 40-year-old bridge engineer, uncovers a betrayal that threatens his family. Instead of rage, he crafts a calculated plan, turning the tables on his wife's lies with devastating precision. I build bridges to withstand storms, he says, and I'll make sure hers collapse. Rain hammered Seattle streets, a relentless drumbeat against the windows of Jake Turner's queen and home. At 40, he was a civil engineer whose bridges spanned the Puget Sound, each beam a testament to his precision. Tonight, though, his focus wasn't on steel or concrete. His phone buzzed on the nightstand, a single message glowing in the dark. Your wife's cheating. Check her work phone. She's with him now. No sender. No signature. Just a blade of text slicing through his calm. Jake's pulse quickened. Claire, his wife of 38, had claimed she was working late at her marketing firm downtown, prepping a campaign pitch. Her personal phone lay beside him, untouched, an oddity. She never parted with it. He slipped out of bed, avoiding the creaky floorboard in their hallway. Each step downstairs tightened the knot in his chest. A faint laugh drifted from the living room. Claire's voice, soft and unfamiliar, like a stranger's intimacy. He paused at the threshold. Through the dim glow of a table lamp, he saw her on the couch, too close to a man. Their hands brushed, her arm draped casually over his shoulder. Ethan, her colleague, 32, all sharp suits and sharper ambition. Jake's breath caught, but before he could move, the front door clicked open. Mia, their 16-year-old daughter, stepped inside, backpack slung over one shoulder. She wasn't supposed to be home. Her study group at a friend's house was meant to keep her late. Dad? Mia's voice trembled as her eyes locked on her mother and Ethan. Claire jolted upright, untangling herself from Ethan, who fumbled to his feet, muttering, I should go. Jake blocked his path, his voice steady despite the storm inside. Not yet. Why are you in my house with my wife at midnight? Ethan's gaze darted to Claire, but she stood frozen, lips parted, no words coming. Mia, go to your room, Jake said, his tone gentle but firm. Mia hesitated, her eyes glassy with betrayal, then climbed the stairs, casting a wounded glance at her mother. Jake turned back to Ethan. Answer me. Ethan stammered, We're just colleagues. Working on a project. Jake's laugh was cold, sharp. At this hour? On my couch? Claire stepped forward, hands wringing. Jake, you're overreacting. It's nothing. Her voice cracked, betraying her. Nothing, Jake repeated, his eyes boring into hers. Our daughter saw you. That's not nothing. Ethan edged toward the door, but Jake's stare pinned him. Don't come back. Ethan slipped out, the door slamming behind him. Alone with Claire, Jake crossed his arms. Explain. She paced, twisting her wedding ring. It's not what you think. Ethan and I, we're close. That's all. Close, Jake echoed, his voice flat. How long? She avoided his gaze. A few months. The admission hit like a collapsing scaffold. And your plan? He asked. Keep lying? Sneaking around? Claire stopped pacing, her eyes meeting his with a flicker of defiance. I was going to suggest an open marriage. The words hung heavy, absurd in their audacity. Jake's jaw tightened. You cheat for months, then ask for my permission to keep going? Claire rushed on. It's not just for me. You could see other people too. It's fair. A dangerous calm settled over Jake. He saw the flaw in her design, the weak joint in her argument. I need to check on Mia, he said, turning toward the stairs. We'll talk later. As he climbed, a plan sparked in his mind, precise as a blueprint. Claire wanted a game. He'd play, one she'd never forget. In Mia's room, she sat on her bed, knees pulled to her chest. Are you and Mom divorcing? Her voice was small, fragile. Jake sat beside her, his hand on her shoulder. I don't know yet, kiddo, but you're my priority. Always. Mia leaned into him, tears soaking his shirt. Why'd she do this? Jake exhaled. It's not about you. This is between us. As Mia drifted to sleep, Jake's mind raced. He pulled out his phone and scrolled through contacts, landing on Lauren, Ethan's wife. They'd met at Claire's company gala, her quiet warmth a contrast to Ethan's flashy charm. A school counselor, Lauren had a knack for reading people. If anyone suspected Ethan's lies, it was her. He typed a quick message. Can we talk? It's about Claire and Ethan. In person. Her reply came fast, I knew something was off. Where are you? The next morning, after dropping Mia at school, Jake met Lauren at a bustling Pike Place cafe. She arrived, her eyes tired but sharp. How long have you known? Jake asked, stirring his coffee. Months, she said, her voice steady. Late nights, vague texts locked phone. You? Jake recounted the previous night. The text, the living room, Claire's brazen proposal. Lauren's jaw tightened. Ethan's been distant, but I didn't know it was Claire. Jake leaned forward. There's more. I checked her work phone. She's been meeting her boss, Ryan, at a hotel. Work dinners, she called them. Lauren's eyes narrowed. Ethan's been texting another co-worker, Sarah. I saw flirty messages when he left his phone unlocked. Jake nodded, his engineer's mind mapping the connections. They think they're untouchable. We'll prove them wrong. Lauren sipped her coffee, her expression resolute. What's the plan? Jake's smile was grim. We expose them, not with fights or scenes. With truth. Let their lies collapse under the weight. Lauren nodded, a spark of determination in her eyes. I'm in. Let's make it precise. They spent an hour plotting, each step calculated like a bridge's foundation. Jake would play along with Claire's open marriage idea, lulling her into confidence. Lauren would dig deeper into Ethan's messages, gathering evidence. They'd strike at the right moment, exposing Claire and Ethan to everyone involved, Ryan, Sarah, the whole company if needed. As Jake left the cafe, the rain had stopped, but the air felt charged. Claire had built her world on deception. Jake would dismantle it, piece by piece, with the precision of a man who knew how to make things last or fall. Jake Turner's days became a tightrope walk of restraint and strategy. After catching Claire with Ethan, he kept his anger locked away, playing the role of a husband considering her open marriage proposal. At breakfast, Claire tested the waters, her voice cautious. Have you thought about what I said? Jake stirred his coffee, meeting her eyes with calculated calm. I'm open to discussing it, but I need full transparency. No secrets. Her shoulders relaxed, misreading his composure as surrender. He drove Mia to school, her silence heavy in the passenger seat. You okay, kiddo? He asked, glancing over. She nodded, but her fingers twisted the strap of her backpack. I just want things to be normal again. Jake gripped the steering wheel. We'll get there. Together. Dropping her off, he texted Lauren, meet me at noon. Got something new. His mind churned like the gears of a crane, piecing together their plan. At a quiet diner near Lake Union, Lauren slid into the booth, her phone already open. Ethan's sloppy, she said, showing Jake a screenshot. Messages between Ethan and Sarah, a junior designer at Claire's firm, detailed late-night drinks and suggested plans. He's playing multiple angles, Lauren added, her voice sharp. Jake's jaw tightened as he shared his own find. Claire's work phone, left on the kitchen counter, held emails to Ryan, her boss, confirming meetings at a downtown hotel. Dates, times, room numbers, all disguised as business. They're not just cheating, Jake said, his voice low. Claire's leveraging Ryan for a promotion. Ethan's using Sarah to climb the ladder too. Lauren's eyes narrowed. We need more proof to nail them. Something undeniable. Jake nodded. I'll keep Claire talking, make her think I'm on board. You dig into Ethan's laptop. He's careless with passwords. Back home, Jake maintained the facade. Over dinner, Claire brought up the open marriage again, her tone almost casual. So, anyone catch her eye yet? She asked, pouring wine. Jake leaned back, forcing a smile. Not yet. You? Her hesitation was brief, but telling. No one specific. The lie fueled his resolve. He excused himself, claiming a late work call, and checked Claire's work phone again. A new email from Ryan mentioned a private dinner tomorrow. Jake forwarded it to Lauren. The next day, Lauren met him at a park near the Space Needle, away from prying eyes. She handed him a USB drive. Ethan's laptop was a goldmine. Emails to a client, promising favors if Claire's campaign got priority. He's in deeper than I thought. Jake pocketed the drive. Claire's meeting Ryan tomorrow night. I'll tail her, get photos if I can. Lauren's brow furrowed. Be careful. If they suspect us, they'll cover their tracks. That evening, Jake took Mia for ice cream, a small distraction from the chaos. She scooped chocolate fudge, her voice quiet. Mom keeps saying everything's fine. Is it? Jake's chest ached. She's trying to protect you, but I'll always be honest. Things are tough, but we're tougher. Mia managed a small smile, and Jake vowed to shield her from the fallout. The following night, Jake parked across from the sleek hotel on Pike Street. Claire arrived, her stride confident, unaware of his presence. Ryan greeted her at the entrance, his hand lingering on her arm. Jake snapped photos from his car, his lens capturing their casual intimacy. As they disappeared inside, he sent the images to Lauren with a message. Got them. Your turn. Lauren replied instantly. Found a contract Ethan doctored. Sending to you now. By morning, Jake and Lauren reconvened at the diner. She spread printouts across the table. Ethan's altered contract, Claire's suggestive emails to Ryan, and texts between Ethan and Sarah planning a team-building weekend. This is enough to bury them, Lauren said, her voice steady but fierce. Jake agreed. We hit them where it hurts, their careers, their reputations. But we do it clean. No leaks, no gossip. A public reckoning. They crafted the final move, a dinner at Jake's house, disguised as a casual gathering. Jake would invite Claire, Ethan, and Ryan, claiming it was to discuss the open marriage idea. Lauren would bring Sarah, who'd been blindsided by Ethan's lies. The trap was set. Jake called Claire, his tone neutral. Let's have some people over Friday. Clear the air, talk about our arrangement. Claire paused, then agreed, her voice tinged with suspicion. Who's coming? Jake's smile was hidden. Just a few key people. You'll see. As Friday approached, Jake dropped Mia off at her grandmother's, ensuring she'd be spared the confrontation. Lauren confirmed Sarah's attendance, her anger at Ethan making her a willing ally. Jake reviewed the evidence one last time, his engineer's precision guiding every step. Claire and Ethan thought they held the upper hand, but Jake was building a structure. Friday night arrived, the air in Jake Turner's Seattle home crackling with unspoken tension. He'd spent the day finalizing details with Lauren, ensuring every piece of evidence was ready. Mia was safe at her grandmother's, unaware of the storm about to break. Jake set the dining table with deliberate care, plates and wine glasses arranged like a chessboard for the endgame. Claire, oblivious to the trap, busied herself in the kitchen, pouring Merlot and humming nervously. The doorbell rang. Jake opened it to Lauren, her posture rigid but eyes alight with purpose. Ready, she whispered. He nodded, stepping aside as she entered. Claire emerged, her smile faltering at the sight of Lauren. What's she doing here? She asked, voice tight. Jake kept his tone light. Thought it'd be good to have everyone together. Discuss things openly. Claire's eyes narrowed, but she said nothing as the bell rang again. Ethan arrived next, his usual swagger replaced by unease. Behind him was Ryan, Claire's boss, exuding the confidence of a man used to controlling rooms. Sarah, the junior designer, slipped in last, her presence a surprise to Ethan, whose face drained of color. Jake, what's this about? Claire demanded, setting down her glass. He gestured to the table. Just a friendly dinner. Let's sit. As they took their seats, Jake's calm demeanor masked the adrenaline surging through him. Lauren sat beside him, her phone discreetly in hand. The group made strained small talk, Claire forcing a laugh at Ryan's joke about a recent campaign. Jake seized the moment, raising his glass. To honesty, he said, his eyes locking on Claire's. Since we're exploring new arrangements, let's clear the air. Claire froze, her grip tightening on her stemware. Lauren leaned forward, her voice cutting through the chatter. Claire, you suggested an open marriage to Jake. Ethan, you knew about this, right? Ethan sputtered, glancing at Claire for rescue. She shook her head, voice sharp. This is private, Lauren. Why are you here? Jake interjected, his tone even. Because she deserves to know what's been happening. Like I did. He pulled out his phone and slid it across the table, displaying photos of Claire and Ryan entering the hotel. Ryan's jaw dropped. What the hell is this? He barked. Claire stammered. It's not what it looks like. Work meetings. Lauren didn't miss a beat, revealing her own evidence. A screenshot of Ethan's text to Sarah, planning a weekend getaway. Sarah gasped, turning to Ethan. You told me I was the only one. Ethan tried to backpedal. Sarah, it's just talk, I swear. But Lauren cut him off, tossing printouts onto the table. Emails between Claire and Ryan arranging private meetings and a doctored contract Ethan had sent to a client for Claire's benefit. Ryan snatched the papers, his face reddening. You used me to push your campaign, he snapped at Claire. And you, he turned to Ethan, thought you could play me too? Claire stood, her voice rising. This is a setup. Jake, how could you? Jake met her gaze, unflinching. You set this up when you lied to me. To Mia. Sarah, tears welling, threw her napkin down. Ethan, you lied to everyone. I trusted you. She turned to Lauren. Did you know? Lauren nodded. I found out. So did Jake. We're done being pawns. Ryan shoved his chair back, glaring at Claire. You played me for promotion, and now I'm under investigation because of your meetings. You're finished at the firm. Ethan tried to slip toward the door, but Jake's voice stopped him cold. Running won't help. HR already has copies of your text to Sarah. Ethan froze, his shoulders slumping. Sarah stormed out, vowing to file a formal complaint. Claire turned to Jake, her eyes desperate. You're ruining everything. We could have worked this out. Jake pulled a manila envelope from his jacket and placed it before her. Divorce papers. Sign them. Her hands trembled as she stared at the envelope. The room silent except for Ryan's muttered curses as he left, promising to bury Claire professionally. Ethan followed, head down, avoiding Lauren's piercing stare. Lauren stood, giving Jake a nod. We did it. She walked out, leaving Claire alone at the table, staring at the wreckage of her lies. Jake stepped back, his voice low. You wanted freedom. Now you have it, along with the consequences. He turned and left the room, the weight of the moment settling like a completed blueprint. The trap had sprung, and Claire's world had collapsed under the truth. The fallout from the dinner confrontation rippled through Seattle's corporate circles like a shockwave. Jake Turner woke the next morning to a quiet house, the absence of Claire's presence stark. She'd packed a bag and left for her sister's apartment in Capitol Hill, her signature scrawled on the divorce papers left on the kitchen counter. Jake stared at the document, feeling neither triumph nor regret, just the weight of a chapter closing. He texted Mia, still at her grandmother's, coming to get you. We're okay. At school, Mia climbed into his car, her eyes searching his. Is Mom gone for good? She asked, voice small. Jake shook his head. She's staying with your aunt for now. We'll figure this out, you and me. Mia nodded, clutching her backpack. I heard her crying on the phone last night. She sounded lost. Jake's grip tightened on the wheel. She made choices, Mia. We're focusing on us now. He drove to a Fremont coffee shop to meet Lauren, who arrived with a folder of new documents. Claire's out at the firm, she said, sliding the folder across the table. Ryan tried to save himself by throwing her under the bus. HR found emails proving she traded favors for a promotion. Jake skimmed the pages. Claire's career, once her pride, was in ruins. And Ethan, he asked. Lauren's lips pressed thin. Fired. Sarah's complaint exposed his side deals. He's persona non grata in the industry. Jake leaned back, processing. They did this to themselves. Lauren nodded, her expression softening. I'm filing for divorce too. Ethan's crashing with a friend, begging for a second chance. He won't get one. She paused, sipping her latte. You holding up? Jake exhaled. For Mia, I have to. She's my anchor. Lauren reached across, squeezing his hand briefly. You're a good dad. She's lucky. Back home, Jake focused on rebuilding normalcy. He took Mia to a Seahawks game, her cheers for a touchdown breaking through her guarded silence. Over hot dogs, she asked, will Mom try to fix things with us? Jake chose his words carefully. She might, but trust is earned, not given. You decide what you're ready for. Mia nodded, her resolve mirroring his own. That night, they watched a sci-fi movie, her laughter a small victory against the chaos. Meanwhile, Seattle's marketing scene buzzed with whispers. Ryan, under investigation, resigned to avoid a public scandal, his reputation tarnished. Sarah, empowered by her role in exposing Ethan, pitched a new campaign that won her a promotion. Lauren texted Jake updates. Sarah's thriving. Ethan's begging for jobs in Portland. Jake didn't reply, his focus on a new bridge project in Tacoma. Each blueprint was a step toward stability, a counterpoint to the wreckage Claire left behind. Claire called a week later, her voice shaky over the phone. Can we talk? About Mia? Jake agreed, meeting her at a neutral spot, a bench by Lake Washington. She sat, hands clasped, avoiding his gaze. I lost everything, my job, my friends. I know I hurt you both. Jake's tone was even. You did. Mia's still processing. What do you want? Claire's eyes welled up. A chance to be her mom again. I'm starting therapy, trying to change. Jake studied her, seeing no trace of the confident woman who'd proposed an open marriage. Mia decides if she wants to see you. I won't stop her, but I won't push her either. Claire nodded, wiping her eyes. And you? Can you ever forgive me? Jake stood, his voice firm. This isn't about forgiveness. It's about moving forward. For Mia's sake, keep it civil. He walked away, the lake's ripples reflecting his resolve. At home, Mia asked about the meeting. She wants to talk to you, Jake said. Your call. Mia frowned, thinking, maybe later. I'm not ready. Jake hugged her. No rus. We've got time. The next day, he met Lauren at a Ballard brewery, their alliance now a friendship. Claire's trying to rebuild, he said, swirling his beer. Lauren raised her glass. Good for her. But we're not her safety net. Jake's Tacoma project demanded late nights, but he made time for Mia, homework sessions, pizza runs, moments that stitched their bond tighter. A coworker mentioned hearing Claire had enrolled in a career retraining program, a flicker of effort to salvage her life. Jake didn't care. His focus was Mia and the bridge taking shape, its steel beams a promise of endurance. As he drove home one evening, Mia texted a photo from her art class, a sketch of a bridge, sturdy and unbroken. Like us, she wrote. Jake smiled, the road ahead clear. 5 months after the dinner that shattered Claire's web of lies, Jake Turner stood on the newly completed Tacoma Bridge, its steel arches gleaming under a rare Seattle sun. The project, his anchor through the chaos, was finished, a symbol of resilience. Mia, now 16, stood beside him, snapping photos for her school's art club. This is yours, Dad, she said, her voice proud. Jake nodded, his gaze on the horizon. Ours. We built this together. Life had found a new rhythm. Jake and Mia settled into a routine of morning jogs along Alki Beach and late-night talks over takeout. The divorce was finalized, Claire's signature on the papers a quiet surrender. She'd moved to a small apartment in Bellevue, working a temp job while attending therapy. Mia, cautious but open, agreed to weekly calls with her mother, testing the waters of reconciliation. She's trying, Mia told Jake one evening, stirring her ramen. But I'm not sure I trust her yet. Jake respected her pace. You set the boundaries, kiddo. I've got your back. He focused on being her constant, driving her to soccer practice and cheering at her games. At home, he pored over new project proposals, his career thriving as the Tacoma Bridge earned praise for its innovative design. A local news outlet interviewed him, calling the structure a beacon of endurance. Jake smiled at the headline, knowing it reflected more than steel. Lauren, now a friend rather than just an ally, called with an update. Claire's name came up in a fraud investigation, she said, her voice steady over the phone. Those emails we found, her deals with Ryan and Ethan, the company's digging deeper. Could be legal trouble. Jake paused, setting down his coffee. Let the system handle it. We've done our part. Lauren agreed. I'm moving on too. Signed up for a counseling certification. Ethan's out of my life for good. The corporate fallout continued to unfold. Ryan, Claire's former boss, faced a lawsuit from a client over mismanaged funds, his career in tatters. Ethan, blacklisted in Seattle's marketing scene, took a low-level job in Portland, his ambitions crushed. Sarah, the designer who exposed him, launched a startup campaign that caught the eye of a major tech firm. Jake read about her success in a trade newsletter, a reminder that truth could pave new paths. One afternoon, Claire requested a meeting at a West Seattle cafe. Jake arrived, wary but curious. She sat waiting, her posture subdued, a far cry from her former confidence. I'm not here to beg, she began, her voice low. I just want you to know I'm working on myself. For Mia, mostly. Jake leaned back, arms crossed. Mia's healing. Don't push her. Claire nodded, her eyes downcast. I've enrolled in a marketing ethics course. Try to rebuild something honest. He studied her, seeing effort but no illusion of redemption. Actions matter, Claire. Prove it to Mia, not me. She offered a faint nod. I am sorry, Jake. For everything. He stood, leaving cash for his coffee. Keep showing up for her. That's what counts. Walking out, he felt no lingering anger, only clarity. His life with Mia was the priority, unshaken by Claire's past. Mia esse resilience schon breiter. At a school art show, she presented a painting of the Tacoma Bridge, its lines bold against a stormy sky. It's about standing strong, she told Jake, her classmates admiring her work. He hugged her, pride swelling. You're stronger than any storm. Later, over burgers, she asked, do you think Mom will ever be okay? Jake chose his words carefully. She's got a chance if she keeps trying. but we're building our own future. A week later, Jake met Lauren at a Pike Place food stall, their friendship now a steady anchor. The investigation's moving forward, she said, biting into a taco. Claire might face fines, maybe more. Jake shrugged, sipping his soda. She chose her path. I'm focused on mine. Lauren grinned. You and Mia, you're unstoppable. He chuckled, the first real laugh in months. We're getting there. The bridge's grand opening came on a crisp spring day. Jake stood with Mia as the mayor cut the ribbon, cameras flashing. The crowd cheered, and Mia squeezed his hand. We made it, Dad. He looked at her, the city skyline behind them. Yeah, we did. As they walked across the bridge, its solid deck beneath their feet, Jake felt the past recede. Claire's betrayal had tested them, but they'd emerged intact, their bond forged anew. The future stretched ahead, steady and unyielding, like the structure they'd built together.